Lewis Hamilton, Flavio Briatore SLAMS Ferrari as he names only driver who can beat F1 star. That is the damning verdict of former Benetton and Renault team boss Flavio Briatore, who has torn into Mercedes pit lane rivals Ferrari. Had to settle for second best at the Australian Grand Prix last week, despite securing pole position in qualifying on Saturday. The 34-year-old was beaten to the top spot on race day teammate Bottas, who also secured an extra point by recording the fastest lap in Melbourne. Mercedes look in good shape ahead of the upcoming Bahrain Grand Prix, with Ferrari and Red Bull left trailing in their wake. This year Ferrari were expected to challenge Mercedes' reign of dominance, which stretches back to Hamilton's 2014 title win. Briatore, though, cannot see the prancing horse recovering from Charles Leclerc's respective 4th and 5th place finishes in Melbourne. And he says Bottas is the only driver who can realistically prevent Hamilton from winning his 6th World Drivers' Championship title. It will be very hard for them, Briatore told Italian station, when asked about Ferrari's chances this season. Nothing has changed since last year. They had 3 months of winter to prepare the cars and Ferrari did not even close the gap to Mercedes. With Mercedes so strong, the only competition is between Hamilton and Bottas. To beat them, Ferrari needs to recover 8-9 tenths. I say Mercedes will continue to dominate. The Australian Grand Prix is often seen as an anomaly on the calendar, with the winner there not necessarily going on to lead the title race. Briatore, however, is not being sucked in by those claims and he reckons the omens are good for Mercedes going forward. Yes, Australia is atypical, but if you are strong everywhere, Briatore said. When the apologies begin at the first race, it will be very hard for Ferrari. Qualifying for the Bahrain Grand Prix will take place next Saturday, with the race itself on Sunday. Next news: Mercedes has found the biggest performance leap among the top teams. The reigning world champion team Mercedes started the 2019 FIA Formula One season not only with a win, but it also claimed the biggest qualifying performance improvement compared to the 2018 one-lap performance among the leading 3 outfits. Formula One introduced modified technical regulations for the new season. The changes affected mainly the aerodynamics of the cars. The dimensions of the front and rear wings have been increased, the front brake ducts and barge boards have been simplified. The cascade elements on the front wing have been removed. The governing body FIA hoped that the changes would help the quality of racing by increasing the number of overtaking maneuvers during the Grand Prix. The aerodynamic modifications should enable drivers to follow the cars of their competitors from a closer proximity. When the engineers of teams first started their research regarding the new technical rules, they thought that the cars will be slower by around 1.5 seconds due to the loss of downforce. The question whether the revised regulation will bring a more exciting racing is yet to be answered. The Australian Grand Prix usually sees a small amount of overtaking maneuvers, because the narrow street circuit of the Albert Park makes it extremely hard to follow other cars and create a real chance for overtaking due to the relatively short straights. However, the season opener answered another question by showing that cars did not get any slower. In fact, every team has found time compared to the previous season except Williams. Among the 3 leading teams, Mercedes, Ferrari and Red Bull, the Anglo-German squad recorded the biggest improvement. Lewis Hamilton's pole position time of 1:20.486 was a whopping 0.678 seconds faster than his 2018 fastest lap time, which also saw him grabbing the first starting position. Ferrari's current car, the SF90, was 0.638 faster compared to last year. However, That improvement was not enough for the Red Team, which had to trail Mercedes by a big margin both in 2018 and 2019. Grabbing the third position on the grid, Sebastian Vettel was 0.704 slower than Lewis Hamilton's best lap time on last Saturday. Kimi Räikkönen, the best non-Mercedes driver, was 0.664 seconds behind the pole position in the 2018 qualifying session. Red Bull managed to find an improvement of 0.559 seconds over its best qualifying lap time of last year, albeit this performance is a tenth shy of what Ferrari and Mercedes have achieved. However, Red Bull's improvement can be seen as a success as the energy drink team ditched Renault for Honda, changing its longtime engine supplier after 12 years of collaboration. It indicates that the initial phase of their collaboration is at least on the same level as Red Bull's partnership was with Renault. Of all teams, Alfa Romeo has achieved the most significant improvement. The Hinwil-based team's best qualifying lap time was 2.242 seconds faster than their fastest lap a year ago. The former Sauber outfit has not changed its engine supplier, it still uses Ferrari's power units, however the team might use more powerful engine modes compared to the insecurity revolving the team at the start of the 2018 season. Moreover, the outfit now enjoys a deeper technical collaboration with Alfa Romeo, and its technical team works under the guidance of Simone Di Risto, who was Ferrari's chief designer previously. One single team could not make any improvement compared to last year. The best qualifying lap time of Williams' faster driver George Russell was 0.13 seconds slower than the 1M24.230 time which saw Lance Stroll making it through into Q2 during last year's qualifying. This negative record is only a further testament for Williams' current struggles with its new car, the FW41. Next news, Mel B rocks Spice Girls reunion as she apologizes to Jerry Horner for revealing they had sex. Spice Girl Mel B has claimed she had sex with Jerry Horner at the height of their fame, revealing that the pair had a raunchy one-night stand many years ago and that Jerry's boobs were great. She also suggested that her comments may lead to Jerry's husband, Christian Horner, killing her. She's going to hate me for this because she's all posh in her country house and her husband. But it's a fact. It just happened and we just giggled at it and that was it, said the 43-year-old during filming of her upcoming Life Stories episode with Piers Morgan. We were best friends. Have you ever done that? Yeah, and I've said it now. All done. Bandmate and pal Mel C was in the audience but insisted that she had no idea about their one-night stand. Speaking to Piers, Mel added, "She's going to kill me and so's her husband. She's not that posh now, is she?" Mel chose not to make the revelation in her book Brutally Honest because she said she wanted to focus on other aspects of her life, but she did admit that she hopes Jerry, 46, does not deny the moment. The pair were close friends and regularly holidayed together on their own during their time in the band. This is a bombshell. A Spice Girls bombshell, crowed Piers. You have never admitted this before, have you? People are going to be fascinated. And hopefully when Jerry gets asked that, which hopefully she will after this, she won't deny it. Because it was just a fun thing, said Mel. Metro.co.uk has contacted reps for Jerry for comment. The comments were made on Friday during filming, but sources close to Mel allege that there are now fears her comments may jeopardize their upcoming tour. The girls all know Mel struggles to keep her mouth shut, but Mel C, who was in the audience, was visibly horrified when it all came out, the insider told The Sunday. Next news: Alonso and Ricciardo linked to Bathurst Supercar Challenge. Fernando Alonso and Daniel Ricciardo have both been linked to a run in the Bathurst 1000 at some point in the future, but it's unlikely to be right away. Of the two, Alonso looks more likely to get to the grid first. The 37-year-old retired from Formula One at the end of last season but remains an ambassador for the McLaren F1 team. Meanwhile, his focus is on his World Endurance Championship campaign, and preparing for his second Indianapolis 500 in May. That still leaves him plenty of time to race in Bathurst, possibly as a wildcard entry with the Walkinshaw Andretti United Supercars squad co-owned by McLaren CEO Zak Brown. "I spoke with Zak," Alonso commented this week while testing at Sebring for his IndyCar return. "Obviously he has a team and we talk about these iconic races that are maybe one day interesting," the two-time world champion said. "Not in the short term, for sure, but I don't close any doors to anything. I like a lot to challenge myself, things that I have no idea," he continued. "I need to learn and I need to learn quick, and hopefully I can be as quick as the specialists on that discipline." Maybe one day. As well as supercars, Alonso said he was interested in getting more of a taste of NASCAR racing. He's driven the car on road courses, but has yet to try the oval racing that predominates in US stock car racing. However, it's the Triple Crown of motorsport that is at the forethought of his thinking. With wins at Monaco, in F1, and Le Mans under his belt, Alonso needs only victory in the Indy 500 to become just the second driver in history after Graham Hill to complete the sport's multidisciplinary Holy Grail. "I'm not closing the door to anything in the future," he added. "But right now, for 2019, Indianapolis is the only priority." Meanwhile, Daniel Ricciardo has his hands full racing full-time in F1 for new team Renault. However, he too rather fancies a chance to try competing in one of his homeland's biggest motor racing events. "It would be pretty cool," Ricciardo told Motorsport.com when asked whether he would consider racing at Bathurst in the future once he was done with F1. "I got asked not long ago, after F1, would you want to do some races, do something else like V8s or NASCAR or Le Mans?" he revealed. "But the more years I do this, it kind of wears you out. And I thought, once I'm done, I think I'll be done. I'll never say never," he added. "I'd give it a good 50-50 at the moment." Ricciardo tried out a few laps of Melbourne's Calder circuit this month in the run-up to the Australian Grand Prix, at the wheel of Rick Kelly's Nissan Altima Supercar. "For me to sit next to him in the car and witness that firsthand was pretty special," Kelly said afterwards, appraising Ricciardo's efforts. "He got in, went out, and then he stepped it up every single lap. Just crept up on the brake markers and changed his inputs to improve every single lap." Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to share and subscribe to your channel to get the latest sports news around the world. Wished health and success. Goodbye.